What is up to YouTube? Today I have a special guest. I am your host, of course, Mike Willie. I have a special guest, my cousin. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Terrell, y'all, and I'm here to bring you to what's going on with y'all.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about the economical differences and circumstances in our country today. Some are born into more poverty in situations that revolve around poverty, and some are born into uh, being beneficial. Let's say it that way. So we're just going to touch on that today. As you see the title, Division Part 1 is going to be a series of videos that speaks on division in our country. This is just the first step of it. And we just want to touch on the situation. This nice shirt I have on is brought to me by my guy Stellar Vibes. Shout out to Stellar Vibes. What is your intake on the situation of circumstances revolving around economical?
Well, for me, I think it's a pretty much a systematic situation when we deal with it. It goes back into going back into slavery. So it has a history, like when we go back into like housing and things like that, as far as the FHA, which is the Federal Housing Administration. Back then we couldn't, own homes or get loans to own homes. So it's a systemic issue that we're dealing with right now, and we still see it today, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So I just say overall, like you made a great point, it's the privilege, and then you got people that don't have it. So it's the have-nots versus the haves, so which created a lot of division, in totality. So I definitely feel that it's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Yes, and I definitely feel like there's things designed to keep a certain group of people in debt. It's easier to get a loan for a car or a house, something that will keep you in debt. But when it comes to something business wise, it's harder to get that loan. Why do you think that's the case?
Well, going back to the system, as far as because the thing about banks is they in it to make money. So when we think about things as far as a home, I mean, you can't move a home, so it's a safe bet, and we got to be honest. Everything is risk, so they got a lower risk if they, loan you money for a home, right? They got a higher risk if they give you a loan just straight up cash. So that take into effect, but at the same time, it's a platform that's not beneficial to certain people, like you made a great point on. So it is, it is the pros in it and it is the cons in it, because we overall, you won't want to give no one no money that you don't feel that you're going to get it back. But at the same time, is we fair with the system overall, and it's people adequately getting loans as they should versus other people that's not getting those loans that qualify for them. So we dealing in a situation that is biased.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, just to touch on that, I definitely do agree with you. But for those who aren't getting those loans, there's certain things that we need to do. With you being tapped into finance, and basically have knowledge on financing, what do you recommend that those struggling to get those loans, those business loans and things of that nature, what do you recommend that they do?
That's a great question. I would say credit is first and foremost. Personal credit, we have to make sure that we on top of our personal credit. So making sure that your utilization is pretty adequate, making sure that you're making your payments on time. Things like that is beneficial for us to be able to secure the loans that we want to get. Also, just being studying, getting more knowledgeable as far as stocks and bonds and things like that, because that's a long-term game. So we definitely need to be involved with things like that, overall.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to touch on credit, more times than not, find yourself, wasting money on things that you don't necessarily need, and to cut spending down on things that's not needed, you'll find it, very beneficial that you're saving way more money than you ever could imagine. Have you had any experience with that?
Definitely. Budgeting is a hard thing for everyone. I mean, it's an issue, man. I mean, that budgeting and allocating your funds is tough, but like I say, you just need to sit down one day and just get everything, what's coming in and what's coming out. The better way to do it is to get with whoever, that hold you accountable, and just sit down with them and just talk to them and let them know, hey, what do you think as far as this Netflix or this coffee or these day-to-day expenses that I'm spending, and you'll kind of make that rational decision based on the people that you have around you, your loved ones.
Yes, and to touch on that, I also think that investing is important. Um, if you're going to spend $100 on shoes, throw it at the stock market and just let the money work, rather than you having to go work your 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
If you have money working for you while you're working, it's a whole different animal, and you're gonna see it pay off in the long run. It's not instant gratification, which a lot of us are used to, but in the long run, it pays off.
I definitely agree with that. Like, man, just to talk about investment, and I think investment is not as popular when we start talking about the Black and brown communities, because everyone wants money right away. It's short term. People's not looking for long-term investments. Everything is more right now. It's a microwave age we live in. So I think long-term is out of the window right now. And when you're looking at investments, you're looking at retirement. You're looking at something that you can have a cushion to be able to make sure that your children, your grandchildren is good. So you got to think long-term,
Yeah. And I think a lot of us think being rich more than being wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're speaking on is wealth, something that can be passed down from generation to generation. Just being rich is good for the time being, but wealth, that creates generations, which a lot of people are born into. Unfortunately, when you're in the Black and brown community, you don't have that option to be born into that, like, some of the other communities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a rough situation overall, but at the end of the day, you still have to take accountability for your situation, whatever it may be, and just working on ways to better it. And you have a nice home. And by the way, audience, this is the Phoenix edition of the Mike Willie Show. Just to touch base on it, what do you recommend? Like some of the things that some of the steps that people take. Like me personally, I like putting things in writing, and it becomes more of a reality to me when you put them in writing and just take baby steps. Because when you're wanting to get somewhere, you want it instantly. Like you say, the microwave generation, you want it instantly. And when you don't see instant gratification, you tend to get frustrated.
Exactly. So I would say I agree exactly with what you said. Write it down, set you a goal, and set a time limit, for that particular goal. So let's say, a year from now, you want to create, save a nesting egg of 10,000. So you got to look at the allocation. So it's going to take a certain amount of dollar amount to get to that 10,000 that you could be able to save. No matter how much you make, you can make that happen. So you just got to get into the point, like you said, just writing things down and having a set goal in mind. Once you do that, you definitely could create any obstacle that you're dealing with. You could get through it with having a set goal in mind.
Absolutely.
And writing it down. So I agree with that.
Now, this pandemic has put us all in a lot of us in a financial, in a financial crunch. How were you able to survive the crunch of the pandemic?
It was hard, to be honest with you. I lost in the stock market, y'all. So I'm heavily into the stock market. So I lost thousands of dollars doing that loss, at that time. So I did lose, but at the same time, the investments that I did make was sound. So it kept me, pretty much able to get through it, but it was tough. I will be honest with you. I did take some losses, but I did have a nesting egg to be able to get us through it too. So
yes, and that's basically what the stock market is. You take a chance, but at the end of the day, it's still something that's working for you, as opposed to something that you're aware. And 2 or 3 years, it's not even of use anymore. But if your money is working for you, you let it work for you them 2 or 3 years, you definitely will see a gain. That's some of the biggest differences. And I'm guilty of it myself. I like buying certain things when if I throw that money at the stock market, it'd be more beneficial to myself.
Hmm.
And just so they know where to get more financial information, where can you be found at?
Okay, so I'm on Facebook as Real Real. So that's REALRELL. So Real Real. Also, I'm got my Instagram. I'll pretty much give you the information so you can tag it too. So I'll put that out there for that also. But as far as Facebook go, and I actually just started a consulting company called Next Level Consulting. So I'll be giving a lot of advisory as far as financial and things all those matters go too. So definitely, definitely.
Absolutely. And just for the people that want to tap into the your new company, what will they find? What information will you be able to give them that can help them in their day-to-day life?
Okay, so we really pretty much is dealing with financial, but we also dealing with therapy overall because it's a company geared to financial therapy. So
Okay.
if you're dealing with finances and you don't understand or you went through struggles like we're talking about as far as poverty and things like that, you won't adequately know how to balance, how to manage $1 million because you never had it before. You haven't ever had any experience with it. So you have to have therapy. So that's why we're dealing with a financial therapy type of remedy for that, to give you that financial / therapy to help you through your childhood trauma also because it ties in together. Most people don't have money because they trauma to money.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And what advice would you give those that had it at one point and don't necessarily have it and basically are struggling?
Hmm.
Is your company more geared towards someone like that as well?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's versatile for anybody. I mean, it meets where everyone meets. Because every situation, whenever level you're on, you can get to the next level. So it's the next level. That's why it's next level consultant because we're always trying to strive to a next level. So it's geared for everyone. You never start too low. Never. Never. Or
Absolutely.
too high. So.
Absolutely. Okay, that's good. That's good information, and I hope that helps someone out in the audience. Like I said, this is division part one. If you can tune in Monday, please like, follow, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll have my cousin's information up as we go do division part two on Monday. When I'm at home, it'll be 3 o'clock p.m. Please tune in. We have some great information and something to think, something to make people think, something to help people in our daily lives. Please just tune in. Like I say, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. For now, that's going to be it on today's video. Until that next broadcast, which will be Monday at 3 p.m., please tune in. Thank you very much, YouTube. Have a great day.